Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, and we are going to get ready to learn all about the people in the Ice Age. So, we've learned about the ecosystems, actually, we have learned about more than one because remember, caves have their own, and then the Mammoth Steppe ecosystem. We've learned about the tracks in the snow. We've learned about animals traveling in packs or herds. So, today we're going to learn about the people. All humans need shelter. When people design their shelter, they have to think about what will work well in their environment. In one environment, people may need a shelter to protect them from the hot sun. In another, they may need a shelter that keeps them warm. What do you remember about how people living in the Amazon rainforest make their shelter? What are their shelters designed to do? Hmm, Think about that. Remember all of the rain they could get. Each ecosystem has different materials available that humans can use to make shelters. In one place, there may be many trees, good for building walls and roofs. In another, there may be lots of mud or clay, great for making bricks. Long ago, when early humans lived in the Ice Age, the climate was cold most of the year and the ground was frozen. If you lived in the Ice Age, Mammoth Steppe ecosystem, what building material could you use to engineer a shelter? Hmm. Here's our engineering solution. People in the Ice Age often used animal bones and tree branches to build their homes. They covered them with animal skins to keep out the cold. Also, if they were lucky, they might find a cave to use for shelter. Early humans living during the Ice Age were nomadic, which means they moved frequently to find food and water. They engineered their shelters to be easy to put up and take down because they did not live in one place for very long. Early humans needed tools to build their shelters. They made tools using materials like rocks and animal bones. They could make the edges of a rock very sharp by chipping away at it with another rock. These sharp tools were used like knives to cut animal skins, bones, and branches. Ice Age humans needed to stay warm when they were outside their shelter too. Unlike the woolly mammoth and other animals, humans didn't have thick fur to keep them warm. Here's our engineering problem. Can you think of something early humans engineered to help them stay warm when they were outside? Solution. Ice Age humans engineered warm clothing. They wore animal skins and furs to stay warm. Another way early humans stayed warm was by building fires. They collected dried grasses and pieces of wood. They made fire by rubbing sticks or striking rocks together to make a spark. Fires were also used to cook food. All living things have to eat to survive. When you're hungry, you probably go to your refrigerator, to the grocery store, or to a restaurant to get food. How do you think people got their food in the Ice Age? One way humans in the Ice Age found food was by hunting or scavenging animals for meat. Remember, we learned that that means that they would look for animals that were killed by another animal to see what was left over. Early humans used all parts of the animal they hunted or scavenged. The tusks and bones were used for tools. Skin and fur was used for clothing as well as for covering shelter to keep out the cold and snow. Meat was used for food. Some meat was eaten right away, and other meat was dried or frozen to save for later. I guess they don't need a freezer when they live in a place that's so cold. Early humans didn't only eat meat, they were omnivores, eating both plants and animals. Along with hunting and scavenging, Ice Age humans foraged. They gathered food from plants such as berries, nuts, and roots. If all the people that were living in the Ice Age have died, and many of the animals are extinct, how do we know what people ate in the Ice Age? Archaeologists look for clues in ancient artifacts, just as they do when they study ancient Egypt or medieval times. Cave paintings and teeth fossils give us some evidence. By looking at skeletons of early humans, archaeologists can see that they had teeth for tearing meat and grinding plants. So here in the back, they had those wide, flat teeth that grind plants, kind of like the elephant's teeth or the woolly mammoth's teeth. They're flat for just grinding everything up. And here, see how this tooth is a little bit pointier and sharper teeth for tearing the meat, kind of like the saber-toothed cat. Scientists also develop hypotheses about what Ice Age life was like by studying the cave paintings early people left behind. If you were an archaeologist studying this cave painting, what hypothesis could you make about what early humans ate and how they got their food? So if it's a little hard to see, look at this animal has really big horns and it's big back and legs, and you have to see this is one human. It kind of looks like my drawing, stick figures. Here's another head and arms. Here's a head and arms and legs. And what do you think this could be? I'm going to let you decide. Part of science is making hypotheses about and then testing if they're right. Oftentimes, scientists learn their first hypothesis was wrong. Scientists once found a skeleton of an early human with a curved backbone. They hypothesized that all these early humans walked bent over. But later, they found more skeletons with all straight backs. The first skeleton was probably from an early human with a hurt back. Finding more evidence helped scientists change their hypothesis into a better one. So remember, we are going to be writing, today we're going to be writing about something we learned or something new we found interesting. Or remember, you can always choose to write about this. Think about all of the things you have learned about the Ice Age. Would you want to live in the Ice Age? Why or why not? Or you can choose something from the glossary, choose a picture, and then try to think of a message from the picture. So here's cave painting, archaeologist, knife, mammoth steppe ecosystem, Ice Age humans, grocery store, fire, shelter, and woolly mammoth. So we're going to be writing together today when we meet, and I will see you back then. Bye.